Hello, y'all. I am back again with another video. So, this video is going to be about learning to process advice or suggestion. And suggestions are good, they get you on the right road sometimes. However, you always have to make sure you understand a person's perspective and their way of life and the way they do things as well. So, what happens is when you're a caregiver, parent, and you're very active with kids in your life, and you're known as kind of like being a giver, right? Just like right now with this channel. I use devices and things like that to be able to do my work on this channel. So everyone won't think exactly like you. Nobody's going to think exactly like me, and nobody's going to think exactly like you. But a lot of times I feel like a lot of failure comes in people's lives because they listen to just what people say. And if an empathic person or a narcissist or a narcissistic person, if they're very weak minded, some people just are like puppeted. They just do exactly what people tell them to do. And sometimes it may be appropriate to do that, but then sometimes it's actually not appropriate to do that, and it can actually hurt your life. So, boundaries. If you tell me that you have a item, and it's a kind of a costly item, you paid, hey, let's just say you paid $100 for it or more. One of the things I do is when I purchase things, I don't always use them right away. And it can be with electronics, clothes. I may have a brand new dress and I buy it right now, and I do not wear that dress until 2027. So that means I've held on to that dress with the tag on it for 2 years because I'm not really addicted to material things, right? And sometimes you get stuff on sale, you just like buy it when you can get it. So, I was mentioning, someone was asking me, how do I like certain devices? Tablets, phones, and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, I like it. It serves a good purpose. Um, because we were trying to like compare certain devices with other devices, like what's a phone versus a tablet versus a laptop, and stuff like that. So, I was told just to give a particular item away. And I clearly stated that it was mine. I'm just learning as I get older that the way I view things and my boundaries will not be somebody else's boundaries. And I think it's okay. But if anyone tells you to sell or give away anything that's your property and it's something you do plan on using, the particular device, the computer, if I got that laptop or one of those laptops hooked up, it probably would help me a lot with my channel. But someone advised me to just give it away to someone else. And that's a boundary crosser because it's mine, right? I just don't roll like that. I don't be telling people to get a stuff away. It's not my stuff to be telling you to give away. But see, certain things, um, what happens is this is what actually happens. This is what's actually happens, or what's actually happening. When someone is not utilizing this certain particular thing in their life, or they gave it away or are not using it anymore, they project their life onto your life. So, say for example, I no longer ride bikes and I decide I don't want bikes anymore. I don't have a need to have any bikes anymore. And I give my bikes away. I just give them away and say, here, relatives, you can have my 10-speed bike or my motorcycles. and just take my bikes. I don't need them. So the good thing about being empathic is a lot of times I'm able to kind of view your situation in your box without merging it in my box. So what happens is that enables me to give better advice because I'm looking at your circumstances, not mine. Just because I gave my bikes away doesn't mean you need to, because for your life you might still have a use for it. So I deal with things like that, and I'm not gonna give the item away because it's something I'm gonna be using it. I might share it and have a need to share the item, but I'm not gonna give it away. It's mine. So just understand when you feel a certain kind of way when you're giving certain advice. And my response was no, I'm not giving that away. I'm gonna use it. Actually, what I'll do is just get the person their own item. Like, this particular item, it's like a phone. Like, I have a phone and you have a phone. Each person has their own phone. So it's kind of like one of those situations where it's more appropriate for us to have our own devices. Okay. That's your bed and this is my bed. This is the chair I normally use. That's your chair. So that's the best way to work out things sometimes. So just boundaries. If anyone's telling you to give your stuff away, sell your stuff, you have to think. You want to think, when you're being given advice, just put a little thought process in it. And you have to actually say, do I want this? Do I really want to give it away? Because sometimes someone may say give something away and it's actually that's really what you want to do. But I just don't, I'm just not running around telling people to get their stuff away. It's not mine. It's not mine. I don't care if it's your own mother. Like, who am I to tell you to give your bike to your mother? It's your bike. I mean, I don't even know if your mother wants a bike. I don't know the full situation. So what happens is a lot of times advice is given because people feel comfortable with you, they feel close to you, but just pick which parts of the advice fits you better, because not all advice benefits you. It just doesn't. And so with technology, with me doing this channel and stuff, I need to utilize as much as I can. Any extra electronics or stuff like that, I could actually use those items to advance and better my channel here and just better my life. So I'm always running across stuff where I'm like, wow. I just couldn't imagine telling somebody to take their item and just give it away. I don't care if I am saying give it away to your niece or nephew or child, or it's yours. So what happens is a lot of times when you have families and you're like a leader and stuff and you help in your home and you've been known as a giving person, you're just expected to just not have anything and just give it away. It's almost like people view you as not having a real identity. If you tell me it's something that you have that's an electronic and you want to use it and you haven't used it and it's a new item, I would encourage you to start using it, right? So if you start using it, you will figure out what you want to do with it, whether it be share it with someone. Once you start using it, you can decide, well, this isn't even a good fit for me. I may want to give this away, but this is an item that I just would not want to give away. This is an item where everyone needs their own, just like everyone needs their own phone or cell phone. Sharing devices, and everyone needs their own phone. Everyone has their own lifestyle. and you got to be able to reach each other for safety reasons. So what we probably want to do is be mindful when we're giving advice. So so let's see the personality type. What would be the personality type of someone that's telling you to just give your brand new item away? Mm, they're not a normal, because a normal is low in empathy and low in narcissism, so they don't really care enough to comment on it. Um, a narcissistic person has a small level of empathy, and so them telling you to give it away to someone else, they're more so showing empathy for the other person that will be benefiting from your item. I wouldn't say they're an empath per se, because an empath would be able to be mindful and have more of a boundary and understand that it does belong to you. And so an empath may feel kind of funny or feel a little strange, even telling you to give your stuff away to anyone. So that wouldn't really be an empath. A narcissist, a narcissist, they may be slightly jealous that you have it and be kind of more judgmental that you're not using it, and just want to make the item a supply source right away. So I would say someone that's just telling you to just give your stuff away and you're not saying you want to do it, their personality would be more narcissistic or a narcissist. A normal and an empath would not be telling you to give expensive items away. I mean, this is not this is not like a dollar store item. This is not something that I paid $1 for. But I've been doing that for years, y'all. I got brand new stuff in my closet right now. I'm not utilizing it, but I always end up using it. I sure do. I always do. I get to it when I get to it. But I like it because it's like when I need something new, I'm like shopping right from the house, y'all. All I got to do is open the closet or open one of these closets and just pull out something new, and not always have to go to the store for it because it's right here at the house. So I asserted a boundary by saying, no, it's mine. I want my item. And then the other person that could utilize the item that I have, they can get their own, or I can buy them their own. So I did assert a boundary, kind of like saying in so many words, you may want to be careful with telling me to give my things away. And some people just kind of bossy, y'all. You know, if someone's not the type of person where they put anything away for later, like as far as items, some people, they just, soon as they get it, they gotta use it. They just use it right away. I don't do that with everything. I do that with some things, but not with everything. So I'm always able to find something that's kind of new hanging around the house. So it's nothing wrong with it. I mean, what if the stores were shut down and you can't go buy that new suit or dress? Just go in your closet and get out that item with the tag on it. That's just how I feel. So I was just like thinking about it, and so what I do is I just assert a boundary and kind of intuitively respond, and I just responded by I need my item. And then a lot of times, people are not supporting what you do. So I could tell someone every day, okay, I upload videos, I upload this. People don't have much interest in what you do. So this is the thing: if you have friends that are narcissists, and narcissistic friends or family members, they're never getting involved with what you do. They're never getting involved with what you do. So they don't understand why you need this other stuff because they're not ever tuning in to what you do in the first place. And that's pretty much what happens when you have a channel. Nobody's really paying attention, or it's actually best when you have a channel not to tell people that's the closest to you. It's just usually the best idea to do it that way, because even alerting someone that you have a channel will backfire on you and not be a good situation for you. And then it removes your privacy. You know, if you're not alerting everyone or anyone that you do a channel, then it's a safe space to be in, especially if you're not always showing your face. If you are not showing your face every time you do a video, then it may be best to just not tell people and just kind of be more private. But just in general, when it comes to people things, a lot of times too, people don't listen. So be a better listener yourself. So if someone's telling you, you know, they're not using something, but they may need to use it, it's still sitting in the closet, motivate them. So the empathic thing to do would be go on and get that out. Yeah, start using that item. You might really need it. It may be of good use in your job, or if you want to start a small business. Be more encouraging. Try to figure out ways to give good advice and good information, but not remove the value in the work that the person put in. You know, the item I worked very hard to buy that. It's not something that I'm just gonna be able to just easily come by whenever I want to. So, you know, telling someone to give something away, even though they might not be using it right at this moment, it actually takes away from the hard work that they put into purchasing that item. It's like if you buy you a brand new car and it's your only car, and you got a brand new car. You may have like a brand new car you just bought that's like 1 or 2 years old. It's almost brand new. And then the other vehicle is 15 years old. And then someone says, "Oh, well, just give that new car you got that's like 1 or 2 years old. Just go ahead and give that to your nephew." So it really takes away from the work that you put into buying that vehicle. The vehicle, not the vehicle that's 15 years old, but the vehicle that's 1 or 2 years old. So what happens when people give you advice just to give your stuff away that you paid a little money for? They're not valuing what you do and the work and the hard work and the skill and attention and the time you took to go to the dealership, to go to the electronics section, to buy like laptops and phones and stuff like that, or even go to the dealership to buy a car. They're not valuing and looking at what you invested and what you put into something. So it's kind of like they just view you just as a giver. They view you as a giver, and they're not really putting much value on your activities, as if your activities are have no value. So that's basically how it feels. So there will be certain things that empathic people just won't do. And one of the things that I can guarantee you most empathic people will not be doing is telling you to give what you purchased that you claim is yours. I'm not going to tell you to give that to anybody unless you're asking me questions about your will and you say you're getting ready to pass away. Then I may say give it to somebody or suggest it. But you just got to remember, everyone will not be an empath, and their advice won't always be very empathic. And not just empathic, you got to view it like this. If someone tells you something, does that serve your best interest? is giving your pretty much brand new car that you just brought off the dealership lot that's only 2 years old, or taking an electronic device that you just bought or that you've had, or you bought it, you had it a long time, or you just bought it. We'll say you just bought it, okay, or you've had it a while. It doesn't matter. Long as you know that you're going to use these items, you can buy a pretty much a brand new car that's brand new or 1 or 2 years old, and just park it and just start it up to make sure the battery's good, and just let it run. And you can decide that you want to drive that car a year from now. Just because you purchase something doesn't mean you have to utilize it today or right away. I've known people that have 4 or 5 cars, and they may only drive 1 or 2 of them every week. And then the other 3 cars, they get to them when they get to them. They just do. They're not always utilizing their stuff and their items every day. So, as a boundary, I would definitely think it's a boundary crosser for me to tell you to give your item away that you paid for. I did not pay for it. It has nothing to do with me. I have no right to tell you to give it away to anybody, whether it be a friend, a family member, a neighbor. It's just not profitable. But it's a small level of empathy because they're saying give it away to a relative and not sell it. I mean, so at least the car or the electronic item stays within the family. But I would say with the advice, just kind of think it through when giving advice, especially when it's advice that does not involve like a domestic violence or safety issue. If it's not an issue where someone is unsafe, or is their life is not at risk, it's not like advice that's like deadly advice or anything like that. So just be um yeah, just be very careful. Yeah, just be very careful, and then be careful with the advice and make sure you're doing what's best for you. Just make sure, don't just go off what somebody's telling you, especially materialistic stuff. I'm gonna give you a perfect situation. I met this homeless gentleman many years ago, and he had been on the streets for a long time. His name was he was a white man. His name was Ron. He was on the streets for a very long time, and I said, "How did you get here? What happened? You know how he got out on the streets and was sleeping under bridges and outside? When he first went homeless, he had a $400 vehicle. Um, Let me take this back, okay? I'm not gonna say that's what he paid for the vehicle. Okay, I think the vehicle he paid more, but this is where the 400 comes in. Someone talked him into selling his vehicle. When he first went homeless, he used to sleep in his vehicle, which was a car. Someone gave Ron the advice to sell the vehicle that he slept in. A good running vehicle where the heat ran. What's safer, sleeping in your vehicle or sleeping under a bridge, getting assaulted by police officers, other homeless people, and just random strangers? Ron had been assaulted several times just from sleeping up under the bridge. So he took this advice. This is going back to this advice when someone's telling you to sell or give something away. So he went with the advice. He was given the advice to sell the vehicle because he needed money, because of course he was homeless. Ever since he sold his vehicle for $400, he's been sleeping on the streets ever since. So that was bad advice, wasn't it? Bad advice. He took bad advice. Advice that I would not have given him. I would never have said, Ron, I would have said, you need to keep your vehicle and collect some gas money, get yourself together, drive that vehicle, and go apply for a job. That's what you need to do, Ron. That would have been my advice. But to tell someone that's living in their vehicle, just because they're short of money, to sell their vehicle, he continued. Once he sold his vehicle for $400, he lived homeless for going into another decade and was still homeless. Literally living outside. But it all began with someone's advice. Be very cautious when anyone is telling you to give or sell something that you have. Vehicles, laptops, bikes, any item that can be utilized to bring in income or that is very essential to continuing a current safe and healthy lifestyle that helps you be more productive and helps you continue a way of life that's safer. Because like in Ron's situation, the homeless, and he was a white man, y'all. I just wanted to know. He seemed like a smart man. Like, how did you get in a situation where you living on the streets every day and have been out here for so long? It all began with someone's advice. He went and got advice, and someone told him to sell his car to get some cash because Ron did not have any cash. Now, of course, the person that was giving him the advice couldn't say, well, what's the backup plan? Because I would have said, okay, if I sell my vehicle for $400, where do I stay? So, okay, I got the $400 because I've sold my vehicle. But where do I live? Where do I sleep? And then what happens to me when the $400 cash that I got from selling my vehicle, that cash is going to go away? Eventually, it's only $400. $400 doesn't last very long. You pay one or two bills or buy groceries for a month and that's gone. And then where does he store his groceries now? Where does he store his clothes and his personals? But this is what someone told him. Someone could have told him that on purpose to hurt him, y'all, and talk about him behind his back. This stupid ass man gonna be homeless the next 10 or 20 years. Somebody could have talked about him like that. It's sad to say, but people will give you advice, and if you follow it, they'll talk about you like a dog. Someone could give you advice to be a prostitute or pimp. And then when you get beat up or raped or really hurt, they talk about you and laugh at you. It's some really wicked people out here, y'all. It's some really, really wicked people. I watched a sad video, y'all, that really broke my heart of Lisa Nicole Left Eye. Her name, she's also known as Left Eye. So Lisa Nicole Lopez, y'all, one of the main singers in TLC. She was, of course, she died in the car crash. And so I was watching a clip of the last moments before she crashed. It was very sad. It was the first time I had seen the clip. So it was very sad. It really was. So yeah, so I'll put that in the description box for you to see it. So just click on the description box below when this video ends so you can actually see what happened to Lisa Lopez. Lisa Nicole Lopez, y'all. She's a Native American. Um, Let me see. What's her racial identity? She's a Native American, Mexican, and let me look this up. It's her dad is, well, let me see. It's called hold on, y'all. I got it right here. Cap Verdean. Yeah, Cap Verdean. It's like a mixture of Portuguese, West African. So basically, she's Cap Verdean. Basically, her dad was black, and I guess he would be considered Cap Verdean because there's the Creole, West African, Portuguese, and then within the Cap Verdean, it's a basically a mixed race. And then she's Native American, Mexican, and I'll just say West African because Cap Verdean, they can be European and West African, or a Cap Verdean can be like Portuguese and West African. So I'm not sure what mixture her dad was mixed with. He just looked like a pure black man, and her mom was basically mixed with a Mexican origin. So those are the three races. It's kind of obvious that her mom had the Mexican and Native American, and so her dad is, I think, black too, since the Cap Verdean. So it's spelled like this, y'all: CAPEVERDEAN, Cap Verdean people. Okay, and so I'll post the videos in the description below so you can watch some of the videos I watched on Lisa Nicole Lopez and see what her religious background is, and how 2 weeks before she was in the car crash, she was in another car crash, and a 10-year-old Honduras boy died. And Lisa Nicole Lopez, also known as Left Eye from TLC, she felt like it was meant for her to die, and that a bad spirit was after her, but killed the little boy that day. But she was convinced, she had these premonitions and dreams of death, and something bad was to come. She had a gift, but I think it kind of reminds me of the gift I have a little bit. I mean, she was able to like predict even her own death in a sense, right? But that type of gift needs to be aligned with a more of a Holy Spirit type religion. So I don't really approve of the religion that she got involved in. I don't think for her type of gift, being able to predict, death and death spirits and stuff like that, I just think she needed a religion that was she got like in Hinduism and kind of like what reminds me of a cult type stuff, like the industry type stuff. And she had like suicidal tendencies. A very talented girl, of course. Lisa Nicole Lopez, also known as Left Eye from TLC, she was very, very talented. So just make sure when this live ends that you watch the description below. And hopefully the story I also was telling you, going back to the homeless man, Ron, he had been homeless for over a decade, maybe even more than 1 decade. I think up to 2 decades he had been homeless, y'all. 1 decade is 10 years. So he had been homeless for up to 2 decades. Did I know him that entire time? No. He was old enough to be my grandfather, pretty much. But He took someone's stupid advice. He needed to keep that vehicle. He had no problems with that vehicle that he had. Good running vehicle. He was able to sleep in his vehicle. It kept him off the streets. But some idiot advised him to sell his vehicle. All because he needed money. Of course, you got to have money to survive. But the worst thing he could have did was sold his vehicle. I believe if he would have kept that vehicle, it would have brought him out of homelessness. But since he followed the wrong advice, it put him more and more in homelessness. It hurt his life. It really did. So it ended up being really bad. So yeah, so there's some videos that I'm gonna put down in the description box regarding Lisa Nicole Lopez. She was such a pretty talented girl. I'll put one down there where she was like dancing, y'all. Let me see. It's like a one of those old videos from 1998. Boy, she could dance. She sure could dance. Lisa Nicole Lopez. So let me see. Hey, she was getting down. Yeah, this is a recorded July 4th, 1998. I think she's the one with the braids. Yeah, that's her with the long braids. So I'll put this down in the description box as well, y'all. Hey, get it, Left Eye. May she rest in peace. She died at 30 years old, y'all. She getting it. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. She's deceased now. So hopefully she, she's with God. It's up to God where she goes. Only the Lord knows. Only the Lord knows where we going, y'all. She was heavy into numerology and astrology. And I think if you're going to indulge in that, just make sure you're filled with the Holy Spirit so that you have protection from those dark forces, y'all. You don't want to get too deep into that stuff, getting into the occult, Hinduism, numerology and astrology. It's just too much to be getting into, y'all. It's too much. And it can really backfire. There is a such thing as evil forces chasing you down. I believe that when she was in Honduras and the 10-year-old boy died, I believe she should have left that situation. She continued to stay in Honduras after the little boy passed away and was killed in the car crash 2 weeks before she ended up dying in a car crash. She was ejected from the vehicle. So please check the description box so you can see Left Eye videos. Left Eye. Her birth name is, of course, Lisa Nicole Lopez. She was of Native American, Mexican, and Cape Verdean descent, which is basically West African, y'all. So she's also African. I'm going to say African, Native American and Mexican. Since when you look up what a Cap Verdean person is, they're of West African descent and mixed as well. Yeah. Hey, Left, I love watching her dance, y'all. She knows she could dance. She could draw, dance, play instruments, act. She's a all-around talent, y'all. 30 years old, died in a car crash. But hey, we can watch her videos. Her legacy will live on. Hopefully the Lord forgives her for everything. The Lord got her, y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye, y'all. Check the description box below, y'all. Make sure you check the description box below.